Welcome to There's a Musical for That.
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 And if you like cellar dwellers
And trapdoor lovers,
there's a musical for that.
And if you like mermaids, crabs, and guppies, why? There's a musical for that.
If you like fan of the opera fan fiction, there's a musical for that.
If you like falling in love and broken hearts, and establishing your dreams and then having them dashed, and duels, there's a musical for that.
and it's called Wicked.
And it's called Little Mermaids Live.
It's called Hamilton.
And it's called Dogfight.
And it's called Fan of the Opera 2, Love Never Died.
Welcome to There's a Musical for That.
We're recording.
Hi, welcome to There's a Musical for That with Tiffany and Kayla. I'm Tiffany,
And I'm Kayla.
and if you like Hairspray and don't mind segregation, well, there's a musical for that, and it's called Hairspray.
NBC 2016.
Yes. So NBC has been doing a series of live musicals over the past couple of years. I think we did Rocky Horror Picture Show a while ago. They've previously done Peter Pan, The Sound of Music, The Wiz, and what else have they done?
There was a commercial for a Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah, I don't know anything other than that.
Grease.
Oh, okay. This was shown on TV in December of last year, so we've had it recorded for a while. Glad that we can finally knock it out. If you have never heard of Hairspray before, what's a good summary of just the general storyline?
Okay, so Hairspray is set in the 1960s, and it's about an overweight teen who wants to be on this dance show.
Tracy Turnblad.
Tracy Turnblad, who wants to be on this dance show, and she's barred from entry because she is overweight. She's discriminated against, and she ends up making friends with other misfits who are the black kids, and they're misfits just because they're black. So they come together and form a group, and she is able to join the show even though she's fat, and then the black people end up being able to join the show even though they're black.
Yep.
Everybody gets integrated.
Yes.
And that's the general story for all of the adaptations.
Yes. There
if I remember
was,
correctly.
I
a
guess,
film.
the movie in the 80s?
1988
Yes.
is a John Waters film.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't
A musical.
a musical, no. And then was
starring
it on?
Ricky Lake.
Okay. Was it on Broadway after that?
Yes, the Broadway version came out, I don't know how soon after. But yes, it was a film first. And if you know anything about John Waters, he is very satirical in his style, so his meaning was lost in translation in this particular production, is what I will say. Because we've both seen the film version, correct?
Yes, I've seen it once when I was in middle school. I think you liked the original more than I did. I preferred the musical movie that was done in 2005?
That's
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
Yes, I think it's 2005 with John Travolta and Zac Efron, Amanda Bynes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the star Tracy was in that.
Nikki Blonsky.
Nikki Blonsky.
So I just looked it up. The
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah was Motormouth Maybelle.
Mm-hmm.
The film came out the original film came out in 88. It went to Broadway in 2002. The one with John Travolta came out in 2007.
Okay.
So this is now 2016.
Yes. I didn't like it. I probably won't watch any more of the live musicals put on. Just because I haven't particularly enjoyed any of them, even though I feel like I liked the original productions of most. They just don't seem to come together very well. I also did not really like the way this production dealt with the race issues. I didn't like it.
Yes. This was very tone deaf. And a lot of the reception I saw from people online was that this was just very tone deaf at the time, and people were very not having it. They really didn't like it. And I hadn't seen it until today, so I didn't get why people... I was just like, I can't be that bad. And it was that bad, in my opinion. This live production was recorded a month before Donald Trump was sworn in as president, and this is the climate we're in, and it's like it seemed like in this production the love story took the front seat and the racial issues were pushed to the back.
Absolutely.
And I do not know why they did that.
The moment that got me the most, where I pretty much checked out and I was like, no, I'm not gonna like this, is when they were in Motorbouth Babel's record studio all dancing together, and Link decided that he wasn't going to be able to. They'd planned to all go on the Corny Collins show together, as like, he can't kick us all off, and then they're going to be integrated. And he was like, oh no, I'll get fired, and he left. And Tracy's reaction was, oh, I knew a boy like him couldn't like a girl like me, or something like that. Yeah. And I was just like, he just
literally said he couldn't stand up for civil rights.
Right.
And you are focused on that he might not like you.
Right.
While you're still in this record store surrounded by all these black people, and that's what you're worried about. And then they consoled her.
Yes. And I couldn't understand her reaction or that entire scene. Particularly since this is something that does come up in real life, and like, I've dated a guy before that I'm just like, you are not saying things that, like, this is stuff that actually happens, and that's not an actual response that someone who cares about this would have.
The cause.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was not realistic.
Yes, and I think this happened like after the big Baltimore riots that happened.
Oh no.
Last year.
Yeah,
so people were just like, you're acting like if we just dance together then racism is over. But they were just having riots in Baltimore in 2016 at the time that this was being produced and created. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know who made this, and I don't know why. I just want to read some of the reviews.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia, it says that this special has 79% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. And the one that really got me, I'm sorry. It says a reviewer from the AV Club wrote, quote, "As a piece of social commentary, tonight's production of Hairspray Live was just about flawless." I disagree. Vehemently.
Good job.
I vehemently, I strongly disagree. I don't. The fact that there are people who still think this way and feel like this is acceptable, that if you just hug your neighbor, then racism is over, it makes me want to throttle them. It made me very angry. And I didn't like it. I can't deal with this.
Okay, so as far as the actual talent and production of the show and just how it was done, one thing on a lighter note, Link's hair, that was not his real hair.
That was a
not
lighter note.
Link's hair is not a lighter note.
It was very disturbing.
So I'm pretty sure there was some sort of hairpiece on his forehead.
I think he has a 3 head. I think he has a very small forehead.
Really?
Yeah, because I looked up a picture where his head was shaved, and he did have that.
Oh.
I think he just has a 3 head.
Oh. I'm sorry. Well, that wasn't very nice then.
well,
It was just the hairspray. It wasn't styled well.
It was very odd. His makeup was not. I said I was going to start with positives in my mind.
Oh, I'm
And I
sorry.
didn't.
You should have
Because
warned
I
me.
was just so tired after watching this with everything going on in our life, like in the world. In America, I just was like, what is this? But the girl who played Amber, I thought did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
She's from some Disney Channel productions. Her live singing was very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say she was second to Jennifer Hudson. She did a great job. Her acting was great. Her singing was great. I thought she did great. I liked her. The boy you're talking about is apparently from Disney also. Teen Beach Movie 1 and 2, which we haven't seen because we're adult people. But
I don't know. I've seen a lot of not adult things, but I have not seen that one.
well,
Nor
that's
heard of it.
specifically for teens.
Oh.
Teen Beach Movie.
Okay.
I don't think that would call to either of us or our child nieces and nephews. I don't think they're watching
No.
Teen Beach Movie. But we might watch it specifically for this. He was fine. Jennifer Hudson's singing was great. The I Know Where I've Been, she did a great job on that.
Mm-hmm. There was a moment, though, where she was turning her head and Tracy was right next to her and she kind of like blared into her ear a little bit. And that made me
She's
giggle a little bit inside.
Jennifer Hudson is notorious for being loud. She's very loud.
But I can appreciate that. That's one of the things that I was a little disappointed with Tracy. I just don't felt like I didn't feel like her voice had the power behind it that I would have liked to hear.
Yeah.
But whatever.
She was a newcomer, which they like to do with Tracy's for whatever reason. Because even when they did the movie with John Travolta, Nikki Blonsky, they were all about, oh, she's a fresh new face, she's a newcomer. But especially when you're doing a live performance, they even did that with The Wiz. The girl who played Dorothy was a fresh newcomer. But I just think if you're doing a live production, fresh newcomers are fine. People who we haven't seen, but they should be seasoned stage performers. And Ariana Grande is a seasoned stage performer, and she didn't do the greatest, but it's not like she had that much to work with, honestly. And she's been criticized for being a mumbly singer, or not enunciating, and I could see that. She was not enunciating. I'm sorry that this is so, like...
I will say that I do recommend Hairspray. I remember liking the movie with the 2007 movie. I haven't seen it probably since 2009, so I don't know if I go back and watch it, I would feel the same way. But from my memories, I did like the music, and I would recommend that. So it's not that I am against the storyline or the music of Hairspray. I really do like it, and I think that it's pretty well done in that movie. I just did not like this particular production and the way it was portrayed.
Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable.
I would agree. I'm a big fan of Hairspray, and the John Waters film, I started watching that as a child. I had it on VHS, I might still. But John Waters was very much counterculture, and he did things specifically. He knew what he was doing. And John Waters, I believe, has since passed away before this, because he did make a cameo in the 2007 film, but I think he's passed away since. But he did things very intentionally. He put those things in there very intentionally. And I just feel like they did not keep his spirit of, like, I'm trying to make a statement here, and it's also funny, but I'm making a direct statement. Because he had stuff in the film about, like, class differences and other things. And the ending of the movie is different, but there's no character development in this. And they tried to smash the movie with the musical, like that dodgeball scene was from the movie.
Oh.
And Tracy getting sent to special ed was from the movie. Because in the musical, the 2007 one at least, they do just send her to detention. But in the movie, they literally just sent her to special ed. And that was a commentary within itself about, like, the public school system, how they're like, well, you're getting on my nerves, so I'm just going to send you to special ed, and that's just, you'll never get a higher education. You'll just be in special ed. Sucks. You didn't conform.
So is there anything particular you wanted to address?
Not really. I just think all the people involved with setting the tone of this should feel ashamed. I feel very strongly about that. This is not something you joke about or take lightly or just say, if you stop talking about it, it'll go away. No, I really do think they should be ashamed and embarrassed, because this was not okay to put out. That's all.
That's fair. What are we going to rate this out of?
Cans of hairspray, I suppose.
Sure.
What are you going to give it?
I'll give it one can of hairspray. I was trying to decide if it would get at least one.
Mm-hmm.
It gets one half-empty can of hairspray.
Yeah.
Just because it was definitely not good. There are other productions available that you can watch. I would give the 2007 movie...
Well, we can watch that separately, so...
Okay.
I have that on DVD. You said you do, too.
I do, yes.
We can watch that separately.
Okay. Then I'll just rate this production. Then I give it a half-empty can of hairspray out of 5.
That's fair. I'm going to give it 1 spritz out of the spray.
Oh, no. My can just lost some of it.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 1 spray out of that half-empty can. Because I just feel like the level of cognitive dissonance you have to say, we're going to update Hairspray for 2016, and this is what you do. Again, you did wrong. And you did wrong on purpose. You really thought you were like, we're going to update it. And you did the wrong thing. And nobody was in that room to say, hey, this might not be good. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they probably have a diversity issue in the writer's room of this, because nobody was like, hey, this might not be the greatest. And if I'm speaking out of turn about that, well, who's gonna correct me? But that's how I feel about it. I'll never watch this again.
Oh, for sure.
Not even to hate watch it. It really is burning my chest. I was so angry watching that. Alrighty.
Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, we came back with a bang.
Yay!
An angry bang. You can check us out on Facebook at TAMFT Podcast, on Twitter at TAMFT Podcast, and you can send us emails or hate mail or jokes, whatever you want to send us. And maybe if you like this, you can tell us why. You're not going to change my mind, but I'd be interested to hear why you enjoyed this. And you can send us an email.
Don't send us hate mail, though.
I mean,
you can write it as therapeutic for yourself, but it's not nice to spread hate to people.
You can send us constructive criticism if you would like, but if we don't appreciate it,
don't make me feel bad about myself.
I wouldn't show it to you.
Don't make Kayla feel bad about
You're
herself.
You're not going to make me feel bad about myself.
Well, I just don't want them to catch you in a weak moment.
Oh, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
being so kind.
Mm-hmm.
But that email address is tamftpodcast@gmail.com. Talk to us. I'm sorry that this is so... Listen, you know what day it is. You know what's going on in this country, in this world.
Welcome to the 60s.
No. It was so happy in the 60s. Everything was great. All right, bye guys.
Bye.